Before I get on out of here for the day, let's get to some politics. Where independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appeared on Fox News' Hannity last night. RFK was on to discuss a recent court ruling that will prevent his name from appearing on New York ballots in the upcoming presidential election. Kennedy told Hannity that Democrats have tried to keep his name off the ballot in every state, despite the fact that he would take away more votes from Trump than Kamala Harris. Look at this quote here. This is what he told Hannity. If Fox News lets me on stage for the debate on September 10th, I will win the election. They're making up rules. If they had the presidential debate in commission, I would be on stage, end quote. I wouldn't go as far to say that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. would win the election, but he'd compromise it. In terms of the binary system that exists, the two-party system between Donald Trump as the Republican nominee and Kamala Harris as the presumptive Democratic nominee. He would definitely have a detrimental effect on one of them, if not both. But I think he speaks to a particular subject that should make us all uncomfortable. And I think it's something that we have to talk about on this show. And we have to continue to reiterate. I don't want Donald Trump to win this election. Strictly because he doesn't know how to act. I'm fearful he will be on a vengeance tour. I think he's somebody that would go about the business of picking people who are loyal to him as opposed to who's best for America. It did not escape me that the inordinate amount of cabinet members he had employed to work under his stewardship when he was president of the United States, when he was the 45th president of the United States, flamed out, decided to depart from him, and spoke adamantly against him. And essentially, I think that he's so narcissistic that he endangers us. It's just that simple to me. But that doesn't mean we get to let the vice president of the United States off the hook, because she is the vice president. She's going to get my vote. I'm rooting for her. And in no way am I being critical of her strategy thus far. It's been 3 weeks and 2 days since President Joe Biden officially stepped aside and said he's not going to run for re-election. And ultimately, she became the presumptive Democratic nominee. There was no primary for President Biden. So we didn't really see anyone challenge him. Perhaps had we seen that, we would have seen the cognitive decline. You know, the one that I alluded to more than 8 months ago that had me saying we need a new president, that had me saying there's no way in hell that he should be running for re-election, that had me lamenting the fact that Democrats were embarrassing themselves by standing up and giving standing ovations in unison, clamoring for 4 more years for a man that's going to be 82 years of age once the election rolls around in November. You have any idea how embarrassing that is? I've said this many times, but that's not Kamala Harris's issue. She is 58, 59 years of age. She's 19 years younger than Donald Trump. There is no cognitive decline. Age and attrition hasn't kicked in where she's concerned. She's smart. She's bright. She's accomplished. A prosecutor. A former attorney general for the state of California. A former senator. Now the vice president of the United States of America. What are you doing avoiding interviews? What are you doing using pep rallies as press conferences or one-on-one sit-downs? Again, to this point, it's not a crime. But for those people out there that want to tell you, especially folks who are Democrats, that want to tell folks like myself and others to shut the hell up, don't listen to them. No, you shut the hell up. We ain't going for that. Because that's what y'all was telling us when we saw Biden slipping. And look at the mess that caused. You shut up. We ain't trying to hear that. As I said to y'all the other day, I cover sports. Let me give you an analogy. I understand it's part of the game of baseball to intentionally walk somebody. I get that part. But if Aaron Judge is about to walk up to the plate, whether you're at Yankee Stadium or someplace on the road, and he is up against an elite pitcher, and a championship is on the line, and y'all brave through traffic and crowds to enter a stadium, and you paid $35 for soda and hot dogs and popcorn, and then the pitcher intentionally walked Aaron Judge, how would you feel? See, even in key moments in the world of sports, when the path of least resistance is available to you, because of competitive fervor, because of the authenticity of competition, because we want to find out, you against me, one-on-one, what's up? What's up? Because we want to find that out, we expect you to answer the call. We expect that in basketball. We expect that in football. We expect that in baseball. We expect that in tennis and boxing and UFC matches and everything in between. Hell, we expect it in golf. Why the hell can't we have it in politics? If Trump is getting interviewed by everybody under the sun, where you at, Kamala Harris? Yeah, it's your time now. Let's find out. I want to hear you answer questions about fracking and a single payer health care and border issues. I want to see you smoke him on reproductive rights for women. He shouldn't even be able to hold your water in that category. Let's talk about Supreme Court justices. Let's talk about civil liberties in this country. Let's talk about the economy. I want to see that. I want to see nobody running. What's up with that? I don't want to see that. So that's what I'm saying. RFK has a point. The Democrats paved the way for Biden. When they paved the way for Biden, and he didn't have any competition, if it wasn't for a debate he agreed to on June 27th, which was 3 months usually before you see any debates, we wouldn't have found out. He would have sauntered right into the Democratic National Convention in Chicago next week as the nominee for the Democratic Party. This ain't the first time. The Dems tried to grease the ski, what do they call it? Grease the skids or whatever to influence votes. How about just being better than a guy that shouldn't be that hard to be better than? 2 impeachments, $454 million civil suit against him, 34 felony convictions. Can't beat him. Beat him. Beat him. RFK's right. Shouldn't be having to go through all of that. He should be on that debate stage. I don't want to hear his voice because his voice is awful. But I want to hear what he has to say, especially against them.